Before we start, I need to explain this thumbnail. If you know, you know. Hi, I'm William James, I'm the host of the Bald Book Geek, and we need to talk about Doctor Who. Every episode of this new Who I've watched, the thing that has struck me the most is Where is the Doctor? I was so happy about the return of Russell T Davies that I kind of sat there like, oh my god, we'll actually get some decent Who. And I was wrong. I was so unbelievably wrong. Reductive. The writing isn't very good. The Doctor seems superfluous to any story that's actually happening and doesn't have particularly any agency in the Doctor. The activists are clapping like seals at queer representation. And Russell T Davies and the production team are condescending pricks. That's the only thing I can say about them. Like, Russell T Davies is on his high horse and his ego is very much apparent. But the thing that gets me about this show, it just feels reductive. The opening one was Doctor Who by numbers. Episode 2 felt like I'd watched it before, and everything after that has felt kind of reductive of other things. There was so much talk of new ideas and people and all of this stuff coming through, and really, it isn't. You know, Whittaker, for example, Jodie, Dr. Karen, a good actress, but the scripts were awful. It felt like Power Rangers in places, and that trend has continued. Also, just a side note, this show feels like a Disney show, and that's something that I find frustrating. The lighting looks very Disney, it's got that very typical Disney fair look, and the IMDb reviews are very real. But the only thing these activists care about is being patted on the head and telling them how good they are, rather than actually enjoying something. I think most people can agree, and it's quite interesting, even like Facebook groups, I'm seeing the sort of a lot of people trying to justify Doctor Who, but even they're saying it could get better, it will get better. And I always say this, I'm willing to give. I think the issue is, and I say this, and this is a controversial opinion, I don't necessarily care about the actor, but I do care about good scripts. And after the Timeless Child debacle, the continuity of the show was broken beyond a level. And they could have been there is a way of them to write out that continuity, by the way, that it was a trick by the Master and the Doctor isn't the Timeless Child. But in that one episode, they made 60 years worth of history, and very recent history, completely pointless. From the Doctor's arc with Amy, to the resetting the universe, to everything that happened suddenly didn't matter. River Song giving up her regenerations. Like, when it comes down to the Doctor, people just want the Doctor a family show. A fun show. We don't want to be lectured on everything. We don't want to be lectured on what we're doing. And the audience figures are showing. Like, this has not charted in the Nielsen ratings in the US, because it's only on Disney Plus there. And it hasn't done well on BBC or iPlayer. We don't quite know the iPlayer numbers, but there have been a handful of leaks. So I don't know. I don't know what the future of Doctor Who is, but I don't think it's a very good one, considering back in the day this got cancelled for more viewers. Like, these numbers are embarrassing at this point. And no, it's not to do with air quotes bigots and ists and phobes, it's just to do with the quality of it. And I think people got burnt by Jodie. That had, again, good ideas, let down by inconsistent storytelling, poor writing, poor characterization, and weird pacing, and sets that felt small and claustrophobic. The Doctor should be a pinnacle of British television, and it's not. It's really not. Not anymore. And that's a shame. It's sad. Again, lots and lots and lots of good ideas. And then we had Peter Capaldi's run, which was inconsistent at best. They didn't quite know what to do with him, and the words tonal dissonance come to my mind. But the the thing that I found quite fascinating about the whole thing was his last season I really liked with Bill Potts. I thought, okay, this is a good backbone. And I liked the first few, and I liked the first season with Jodie. I thought her opening episode was great. I know that's a controversial opinion, but it all went downhill when they brought in these new writers. And you can always tell when they're desperate to cling back some viewers because they'll bring back some old villains. Like, how many Cybermen arcs do we need? How many the Cybermen curse? Literally, it became a meme at one point. People were posting, "Oh, Doctor Who is on more Cybermen." It became a very weird debacle, and it became kind of generic and boring. But I did love what they did with the origins of this universe's Cybermen. But the quality went downhill, and Russell T Davies has doubled down on everything, doesn't know really how to pull together anything. Went after blocked a disabled fan for criticising his choice with Davros. This wine is good, by the way. It just didn't feel. It doesn't feel genuine. It feels like virtue signaling, and I'm really sick of wealthy, famous people virtue signaling. I'm just going to put that one out there. I'm kind of over it because should we, as people, listen to a bunch of people that talk about climate change that fly there in their private jet? Come on. Like, regardless of your feelings on that, it never quite works together, does it? But the virtue signalling, the painful writing, and just the overall vibe of Doctor Who right now is just off. And I don't know how to feel about it now. I think it just needs a break. I think Doctor Who needs to go. I think it needs a rest. I think it needs a decade out, 20 years out, whatever. And I think it just needs that sit down and breathing cooling room. It's very simple. Sometimes that's what things do. Sometimes they need to breathe, and sometimes they need a space where. Sometimes they need a space where things can just. I don't know, just breathe. New blood, new writers, new people, give it 10 years. They're not going to do that, are they? They're going to try and milk this and turn it into Star Wars. Milk it till it's dead. So, I'm going to leave this one here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and talk to you soon. Bye.